Hi, I am Amy Barthell, and I am here to present my research project for my capstone for my MA in Communication. It is entitled Adapting Organizational Management Practices to be Effective for the Remote Worker Through Organizational Training. What that means is it's a focus on um, management best practices in relation to employees who work remotely. The number of people who are working remotely from home or other, non-traditional locations separate than from where their managers are located is increasing exponentially. So what this means is organizations need to adapt to this new dynamic of the work environment. Um, I pulled some data referencing a few factors. Number one, managerial best practices. Best practices is kind of it's a corporate buzzword, but what it basically means is those policies, actions, practices of a manager that have been deemed to be the standard, most optional methods in the industry. They're established as the most efficient and correct policies to adhere to, especially in terms of communication and managerial communication. There's a large body of evidence and research. So I've compiled all that into one list. So then the next step is, focusing on remote workers. This dynamic of not going into the office every day creates unique challenges and issues and needs and requirements for those employees, other than those who are actually in the traditional office setting. So I've got a pretty well established amount of research and a list for that too. So the challenges in creating this training is to take those best practices that have been established for traditional office setting managers, and then in comparison and taking into consideration the challenges that are unique to the remote worker model and merging those into identifying how a manager still provides and enacts and enables all of their traditional best practice and communication models to adapt for the remote worker, and to meet all of their unique challenges. So that is what the focus of my research, and then the culmination of all of it would be to actually create a corporate training program that teaches managers how to meet these needs of the remote workers. Corporate trainings are an investment for a corporation in order to help increase productivity. So that's managers are kind of gatekeepers. They can greatly affect the productivity, job satisfaction, job retention rates, things of that nature for their employees. Their direct correlation to all of those things, when for those who report to them directly. So that's why it's really important to make sure that all of those things are being addressed for the growing number of employees who work from home as well. And so I also incorporated, with all that research too, the traditional steps in creating a training design and your needs assessment design, the implementation, and then the follow-up exploratory survey sort of deal. So taking those buckets of information, merging them together to make sure that we are addressing the needs of remote employees. Like I said, I work from home myself, so this is a very personal subject, kind of near and dear to my heart. And then taking all of that information, the research, implementing it into an actual training for managers will have a large trickle-down effect for corporate employees, because by focusing on the managers, you can really affect a greater number of employees, because those managers directly impact, like I said, all of those, productivity, job satisfaction, employee retention, all things that are also important to the organization themselves. So not only are the organizations receiving a benefit, but the employees and the managers are too. It's a great way to reach out and impact a large number of people, and to focus on this growing demographic of people who work from home. Thank you.